That's it? Like,
Yeah.
sir? What? Make no
Yeah.
sense. You're
So
still watching my
I
life.
am polite and I like to wait to see who's going to show up. So I give people a moment to gather themselves, me to make sure that the angle of the camera is okay, and get started.
Are you live right now?
I am. Okay,
I thought I was gonna come in from
oh
there.
gosh, no, just stay over there. I will announce you when there is time. The thing about this, though, is that you can't always see who is
In there?
in there. Yeah, I don't know this view. It's hard to see. So, and I often tell people, please say you're here in the comments, and they're just watching, and I can't see that they're there, and then I end the video, and there's like 50 some odd, 60 some odd, 100 some odd people who have been watching. I didn't know. So, um, yeah, so you guys got a little behind the scenes prep there. Sorry for calling you all guys. My name is Teresa McCalman. I am running for Senate in the 49th Senate District here in New York State. And today is Wednesday, and it is Tea with Teresa, and it is awfully warm. Hi, Heather. Wait, not yet, Heather. She's supposed to be my surprise guest, and she kind of like peeked her head. I didn't cover that with her just yet, but yes. So Heather said hi. Um, so you guys got a little behind the scenes. My daughter was spilling some of the tea. Mind you, teenagers somehow manage. Oh, my glasses! I keep saying. Um, manage to have drama even during these times. They find ways to create their own tea during these times, and she was just sharing some of her own tea with her friends and everything. We'll talk to her in a moment. So I just want to say hello to everyone. It's been a somewhat eventful last couple of days. Monday was a holiday, so happy belated Memorial Day to all those who have family members, or like I do, I have a lot of family members who were in the military in the past, and who have passed away. And for some reason, it's really weird. Even amongst my team, there was a slight debate, nice one, of course, with the team, but apparently people had to be reminded what Memorial Day is for. Hey, Paul, how you doing? But so people were debating whether it was for veterans or not. And I saw that frequently on Facebook. A lot of people were saying Memorial Day is for the soldiers who have passed away, and Veteran Days are for the soldiers who have served and are still alive. So, and I wanted to make this Memorial Day about all the heroes who have passed away, because we are still in the midst of this pandemic worldwide, of course. And I think I was saying to my team that I wanted to put something out there that encompassed all of the heroes' lives that were lost in the last few months. So even going back to those heroes in China, those people who chucked the establishment, my heroes, of course, and were brave enough to break their silence and really tell the world what was happening in China and with the virus. And I really wanted to do that. So I hope that came across. I love the quote that with Arthur Ashe about what a hero is. I thought it was really succinct and powerful. So just wanted to say that. So Monday, like all other Americans, we celebrated by barbecuing in the backyard. The first time we've actually been outside like that in a really long time. Actually, last week we ventured out to the park on our own and had a picnic, the girls and I, in a very, separated part of the park. And anytime people came anywhere, even like 20 feet within our vicinity, I think we all just kind of panicked because it was our first time really being outside like that and not like just going to get food. So it's been interesting slowly phasing ourselves back into the world after being on lockdown for more than 2 months. So, all right. I didn't want to really get into that, but it kind of segued into that. Who's that? Hey, Nancy. How you doing? Hey, girl. I miss you so much. Hugs and kisses. Um, this is a treat I gave myself. I had to go get some office supplies from Staples because ordering it would have taken too long, so I had to. And this was sitting on a display with Thank a Teacher. And it reminded me of my eighth graders. Thank God they all had an awesome sense of humor. If you've ever taught eighth grade, you know that age is very precarious and they don't really get sarcasm just yet. And dry humor kind of just, and also funny things like this. What I used to do is on my thermos for my tea, I had a note that said student tears. And my students laughed, I never made them cry, but it was just something funny that I would put on. So I kind of like this thermos. It says teacher fuel. And I wish I had it back then because, yeah, I really like it. So I treated myself to this. It was a display for actually something for other people to buy for teachers. So I got it for myself because I don't think anybody that I know would be in Staples getting binder clips. So, and seeing the display and get it for me. So I treated myself to this. Just wanted to show you guys that. This actually has soda in it, but I do have my tea. My daughter made me some tea here. And this one is lemon ginger.
Yes. Peppermint.
Peppermint? Okay, peppermint. So, yeah. Love my tea. Love flavored teas. Okay, so what I want to say, I have a guest here today who's going to share tea with me. My daughter, Kenny Annalisa, she's going to come on in a second and talk about what she's been doing the last couple of days with us. I had it in my mind to ask her to actually help out with making volunteer calls because we are in GOTV right now. Oh, miss you too. And hey, Fitty Fits. And that's our dad. They are Fitty Fits. And while we're doing GOTV, Kenny, look at my cat. She always does things crazy while I'm doing live. Don't do that, Kenny. But while we were making volunteer calls, I was kind of protective of her and saying I really don't want her to speak to people. Sometimes people can be mean and they don't really know who's on the other side of the phone. And I didn't want her to encounter that because when she listens to me make phone calls, she's always upset as, why are they talking to you so mean? Why are they, that's not nice. They could have just said, no, thank you. So, and it was the reverse for me. So, I said to one of my volunteer coordinators, and I said, can you please just get her a list where they're her peers. So between a certain, high school graduating 18, of course, voters, and up to a certain age, and let her speak to those. I think it would be a lot easier. And she's going to come on and in a second and talk about that. She's still texting her own tea to her friends. So we're going to talk about that in a second. And I wanted to say also my condolences to the young man who was the young artist here in Schenectady who actually just died from being shot a few days ago. And my condolences to the family. There's been so much hurt in the community here, and for that, I actually have no words. I'm just flabbergasted. It's a shock. It's always a shock. And then a few days before that, um, a friend of mine, Omar McGill, many of you may know him, his mother just missed being hit with a bullet herself in her own home. There was a shooting outside of her home and here in Schenectady, and she was almost taken from us. So it's scarily sobering, especially with this pandemic. There's still so many other things that threaten Black lives, and it's really upsetting. But I don't want to go, too much into that. I just wanted to acknowledge that it does hurt, like if as if it was my own child and my own family members. And just recently, actually, one more thing, and then I'm gonna get off the sad stuff. My niece just lost her sister to COVID last Sunday. I just found out about it last week. And I remember her sister. It's her father's daughter, so it's not my direct niece, but I still, that's family still. Haven't seen her since she was a baby, but she was a young woman taking care of her grandmother who was sick with COVID as well. And as far as I know, I haven't heard anything else about the grandmother, but the grandmother's still alive. But my niece, who was 23, passed away. So just wanted to say, it's been a lot of loss this last week. A lot of people narrowly escaping themselves, and Kenny is pointing out that escaping with their lives, I should say, that there may be comments. Nope, that's it, Kenny Winnie. Everyone commented. So I just wanted to say that. All right, let's take it to Kenny Winnie. My daughter, she just said, like she didn't know she's gonna be. Come on, scoot over. I'm gonna scoot over this way, and you can scoot over and come on in. That was a nice, smooth transition. Yeah, I didn't see all the scooting. My daughter, Kenny Annalisa, you probably recognize her from most of our volunteer events that we do, and some other community activism she's done, being a young abolitionist for years. Oh my gosh, since you were like 9. And also she's been on a lot of campaign material by accident. She's always like, why do you guys always catch me off guard? So Kenny has been volunteering, and my team is putting up some information if you would like to volunteer too. And I asked her on because a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, first of all, it's unnerving to go knock on strangers' doors and say, hi, I'm not the candidate, but I like her and you should like her, and, you should vote for her. It's unnerving to do that, but then call people, just cold calling people you've never met before, and you don't know them from Adam, and you're just like, hey, you're who you are, and I'm calling you to tell you about Teresa, and or anybody. It's hard to do that as an adult. But my daughter, when I asked if she wanted to do it, she was like, sure. And it was really hilarious watching her do it. Because what we try to do as adults is be perfect, right? So we're like, hi, yes, I'm Teresa, and I'm calling because, I'm running, and I try to be as articulate and to the point as possible. And Kenny goes, oh my gosh, I totally forgot what I was going to say.
I was like,
and then people stay on the phone.
Talking to.
Who am I talking to again? But they stay on the phone. Which is the cutest thing. Thank God she's talking to her peers, because I think they understand. They understand the awkwardness of it. And she goes, okay, say your name again. And I'm like, you have to listen, Kenny. And I'm like in the background going, it's her. I'm telling her who the name is, and she's totally not here. She's like, I don't know who I'm talking to right now. So besides that silliness, and it was kind of fun though to watch you do that. How did you find just calling people for the first time? Because you've done it 3 times now.
Mm-hmm.
You've made calls during our virtual phone bank, and you have your own list and everything. Tell us about that.
How was it?
Yeah. Like, what did you think about it?
Oh, I was nervous. I had to write a script. I had to have my mom's website ready. I had to, I don't know. It was awkward communicating with people that you don't see face to face because you can't read the room. Like, usually I could read facial expressions, but over the phone, I couldn't figure out what they were thinking, so I didn't know how to guide the conversation. And it was awkward.
And it's funny because I'm hearing her conversations and I'm speaking to people myself, and I so want to help her, and moms, dads, you guys know this. We always want to make sure that our kids are not making those silly mistakes that we're making, and we want to guide them on everything, but we can't. So, and I couldn't anyway because I was in a call on my own. But in the end, I'm like, Kenny, did you just say that? She goes, yeah. But they're gonna call me back, and I go, okay.
Yeah. It
was
works.
a positive, yeah. And you said it was really weird because a lot of the 20-year-olds, 20-something-year-olds, parents answered their phones.
Yes, it's like their parents are still very protective of them. I was on the phone with somebody and it took like 5 minutes for the parent to give their daughter the phone. They were asking me all these questions. I was like, I'm just
Oh
calling.
yes, they were like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
Where are you
And
calling
they
from?
were
What do
like,
you want?
they found the call quite sus at first, but they called me back and had their son, I think.
You have to translate. She means suspect.
Yes.
Some people don't know what that means, Kenny. So yeah, so they were like, "Who are you?" and "Why are you calling?"
Yeah, and then they said that their child wasn't there and they were busy. But then after like maybe an hour, they called me back again and asked me for more information.
Oh, okay. Good. See, so just so it can be fun. It can be very interesting. It can be scary as well. But my 16-year-old is doing it 3 times. You got your own list,
Mm-hmm.
and it's funny. I wanted to say, so you made a script.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what happened. I said to her, Kenny, I said, would you like to help? And she said, yeah, right away. And I said, okay. And then she got quiet, and then I saw her like writing, and I said, Kenny, what are you doing? She said, oh, I'm writing. What are you writing? Oh, I'm writing a script. I said, oh. I said, you writing a script to make calls? She goes, yeah. And I go, okay. Like, she just got to it. She's like, okay. And she's like, okay, my name is, and what am I going to do? It was so cute. I was like, Kenny, you know your name. You don't need to write that down. But, yeah, and her script I told her, I said, don't go by the script.
Mm-hmm.
Just speak naturally and just use that as a
I
guide.
think that was my problem. I was going by the script, and then when people went off the script,
Like
I didn't have a plan B. And it was so awkward.
Tales from the campaign trail.
Yeah.
The tales of a 16-year-old during campaign. Yeah. So, so sometimes I mean, you gotta laugh at things. You gotta have fun. But it is unnerving, even for me as a grown woman, with 4 children, trying to call people and convince them that I am a real person. I have no nefarious ulterior motives, that,
Mm-hmm.
I really do want to see the community, get over this pandemic and move forward. And even before the pandemic, I've always been that person that's how can I make things better? And not just for me and my children and my family, but for everyone. I mean, if you speak to anyone that knows me, I think I've always been that way.
Mm-hmm.
I just, maybe in the last 8 or 9 years, which may seem like a long time, but it's not, recently realized that's who I am. Always trying to do better. And then even with my children, like if they say they can't, or like there's no such thing as I can't, it's how can I, and try to do better. And usually I go, can you guys do this? And if you say no,
Come here, come here.
let me talk
Yes,
to
you can.
You
Let me
do
just
it.
show you.
There's no, I can't. No, mommy, I don't want to. No, you'll be fine. Let me show you. Let me just show you how to do this, right? Or they've termed they've coined the term. They've been voluntold to do things, but it's all for the better. Even their little cousins that I used to babysit, in between like all my 50 million jobs and getting a whole bunch of different degrees, I used to have them early in the morning to late at night, on the weekends, I think it was, right? And I took them everywhere. And they also ended up volunteering at the Underground Railroad History Project, becoming young abolitionists themselves. And the youngest was like, at that time, I think she was like 5 or 6 years old, being reenactors, learning their history, learning about Black history in the capital region, and also learning how to interact with the community in a different way other than just like going to the corner store or going to see their friends. So really learning how to be a young community activist. And they push back, and then one of them just recently, she's going off to college now. I'm so proud of her. She's going to a BSU, and she said, TT, they called me TT, even though I'm not their little aunt, I'm their cousin, but they were like, TT, I miss those days now. I know I used to complain and I hated it. It used to make us do these things, but I look back and it was really awesome experiences, and we really had fun. And even though my children, they fight me. They go, I don't want to do it. And I go, just come on. You got it. It'll be fine.
Fighting, though.
Yeah. In the end, it's an experience that a lot of them don't. A lot of other children your age do not. Go ahead, you can put your lip gloss on. Like, I mean, you're a teenager, you gotta look good on. So I just wanted Kenny to share that. Anything else you want to share of your experiences doing call time with your mom?
No, I don't think so. It was just awkward at first. But I mean, after maybe 30 minutes into it, I don't want to stop calling. And I get kind of sad when I have to stop
Yeah. I go, okay, Kenny, we have another thing to do, and we're done right now. And she goes, wait. I just wrote this name down. I got to do one more call. And I go, okay.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid, I've voluntold her to do things. Now she's like, no, I can't stop right now. I got to finish this call. And then she goes, you sure? I can do one. Go ahead, Kenny. You want to do one more call? Go ahead, do one more call. And you helped us reach a lot of our goals that we had last week, and also this week. So, I try to make it fun and try not to make it too hard. And isn't that yours over there?
Yes, my tea.
Yes. She made both of us tea. What are you drinking? The same one?
Peppermint, yeah.
Well, what were you drinking?
It's all gone
Okay,
now.
here, you get this.
Thank you.
There. Have some of my tea. Yes. So, hey, Janine. Oh, hi. Did you vote for me? I hope you did. Or are you? Yeah, you're on
Janine?
So I want to say also, I think we're cross broadcasting on another group, and I noticed last week that, and I say this all the time, but I want to repeat for those who don't realize it. If someone's hosting a watch party, thanks, Janine. I figured so, but just had to ask. I mean, you didn't have to answer neither, but thank you. So if you're hosting a watch party, and a lot of people have been hosting watch parties, and someone may post on your watch party a question or a comment, I can't see it. And this new setup, you see how it is?
Yeah,
I don't know. I can't see
weird.
likes. I can't see hearts. I haven't figured it out. I may go back to the other setup. And also, if it's on the other group page, I can't see those as well. I just want to make sure that we're reaching a broad audience, and people are able to ask questions and comment and everything. And I do this all the time, even with the tea, when we're having tea, and also when we're doing the town hall, which is on Thursdays. So if you have a question or whatever, and you're going to post it on a watch party or under a watch party or on another page, please, I'm not ignoring your comments or questions. I just can't see them unless you're actually on the Teresa for Senate page, and then you post here like Janine did, and Paul did, and Fitzy did, and Heather did. Then I can see all of that. So, and as always, my team is always on point. I always forget because I'm just, shooting the breeze on Wednesdays and drinking tea. I always forget to say the website, teresaforsenate.com. Do you know my website?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Have you looked through everything?
Yes.
I think your picture's up there.
I try to avoid that then.
Yeah, I think it's on the banner. I think it's on the landing page. Like you're right there with your
Oh
sister.
yeah, I saw yeah.
Yeah, all your sisters. TeresaForSenate.com. If you want to go there, donate. Our Act Blue link is up. We have to raise so much money before the primary. And I really do not like asking for money. And I don't think any candidate really does. It's the worst part of running for office. But it's unfortunately something that we have to do. And so if I ask, it's because we actually positively, and if you know me, you know me. I'm resourceful. I find ways to do things, especially when I used to work for the Underground Railroad. I find ways to do things without money. But I can't run a campaign without money. I unfortunately have to ask for money. So if I'm asking you, it's obviously, it's not obvious, but it's because I absolutely positively need your support. I need your help if we're going to win, if we're going to change our world, if we're going to take back our community, especially the 49th Senate District after this pandemic, and bring it back to life and make sure everyone's safe while we're doing it. I definitely positively need your support. I not only need your vote for this primary so I can move on into the general and take this red seat and make it blue, but I also need your financial support. We have so many people who are not privileged to be on the internet. And Kenny has some of those friends who do not have Wi-Fi. They can't get on the internet. Their phones are not on because their parents are struggling, like everyone is right now, because they're either underemployed, more so than they were before this pandemic, or they're unemployed. So a lot of people do not know what's going on. They do not know about the changes in our election laws. So everyone needs to. That's my other daughter. I'm asking her to be quiet. But so I'm just asking for your support, and please continue to support and share the website. Ask me anything on the email, teresaforsenate@gmail.com. If you have questions, you want to know more about me. If there's not enough on my website, because it'll be 500 million pages long if we put everything on the website. But understand your issues are my issues. My issues are not yours. Your issues are my issues. So I ask you what is important to you, and then I yell it from the mountaintop so that everyone can hear it and so that we can take care of you. So let me know what it is. If you don't see something on the website, if you're not sure, we can have a conversation. I'm all for that. I'm a teacher. This is what I do all day, every day. Listen to students, talk to people. So please, if I'm asking for your support, it's absolutely positively because I need your support. So just like Janine, please, when you get your absentee ballot, please vote. I'm the first option. Thank God I'm the first one, and it's a great position to be in, and it's very telling. So, and if you have questions about voting absentee, Kitty, you look like you're just spaced out.
Oh yeah, I did. I did.
She's heard the spiel, like she's like my mom. Yes, y'all just don't know. I live with this every day. This is me. Like this is true. I'm very passionate. If you haven't met me in person, many of you have, but you know how I am. This is just me, and I'm true 100%. But if you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask me. I mean, this is what I do when I'm not campaigning. I teach. So if you need to know anything, you're not sure about how to vote absentee, I'll tell you, I got my ballot and I voted, but I didn't get my presidential ballot, primary ballot. Some people did get their presidential primary ballot, but not the local elections. So I ended up sending in another request for my ballot, and I'll let you guys know how that works out. I may end up having to call the BOE, but it was really weird because I was expecting two ballots and I didn't get it. So, and they are mailing the presidential ballots separately, just to let you know. So, like I said, anything. If you're not sure about how to vote, if you still have questions, even about the stimulus checks, you have questions about our phases of opening, teresaforsenate@gmail.com, teresaforsenate.com. You can connect with me any way. You can message me here on Facebook. You can DM. It's a DM on Instagram.
DM.
And DM stands for direct message. Hey, Mindo. Thank you. You can direct message me. You can also, is it private message on Twitter? I don't know the lingo, but I know how
Inbox.
to get it.
Inbox.
Inbox me on Twitter. So a lot of people do. So you can reach me any kind of way. And I want to apologize ahead of time. If I don't get back to you right away, I will make sure I get back to you within 24 hours. It usually is not that long. But I'm sure you understand. A lot of people connect with me. So your message is just as important as anybody else's. So I try myself, not my team. I try to respond personally. And yeah, so again, I don't see any more comments or questions. Oh, so we're having our virtual Zoom. That's what Kenny's been doing.
Tomorrow.
She can't live without her phone.
No,
So
this is tea.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
What, can the tea wait?
Yes.
It's not going to go cold. It'll be there. So every Tuesdays and Thursdays, and my one of my volunteer coordinators will correct me if I'm incorrect, but Tuesdays and Thursdays we get on a Zoom, and it's pretty much you get on, you have a list with a link, and it's a virtual phone bank, and it's just point and click, and you're just calling, and the script is all there, the names, the people in the household is all there, and you're just calling while you're on the Zoom with other people. Everything's muted, so you don't have to worry about walking over anybody while they're on another call, and it kind of makes you feel more comfortable and less alone while you're phone banking, and I think it's really cool. And I can't remember if I thought of that or somebody in my team. I don't know, but I thought it was an awesome idea, and I was like, let's do that, please, because it just, you see other people making calls, and if you're sitting there, you're not making calls, and you're like, I should start making calls because that person is on a call and that person's on a call. So, hey, Josh, one person at a time, no list even. Yes. Oh, what do you mean no list? Oh, no, I meant that the link to call people. So we don't give you like a paper to look at. It's automatically in there. So as soon as you're done, as soon as you're done with one call,
you put next caller.
Yep, next call. So you don't have to write anything down. It's all electronic, but there is a place for notes as well. And our volunteer coordinator will walk you through everything, even if it's your first time. And Josh is saying, we've spoken to like 500 voters in the last week. I totally heard that in Josh's voice. Yes. We've spoken to like 500 voters in the last week. Yes. And Kenny called a lot of them as well.
A lot, yeah.
Good job. And she even though she's like me, I like paper and pencil. I like to write things down. And even though it's electronic,
I take notes.
Did you know that I do that? Yeah, I have to take notes.
Yeah, I take notes anyways.
It sticks in my brain more. Yeah, like I can remember it more. So, much to some of my team, they're like, Teresa, just like put it in a spreadsheet. And I go, no, I hate spreadsheets. I've got to write it down. Even though I use them, but just, it's easy peasy. And Kenny can do it. Please volunteer. We're in GOTV now because absentee ballots are out, and we want to make sure that everybody knows that they have an option, and that I am running, and we need to win in November, but first we have to win in June. So volunteer, teresaforsenate.com. You can email me also, teresaforsenate@gmail.com, and it's hope to see you tomorrow at our virtual phone bank, and also our town hall. And we've got other stuff coming up too. So I'll talk to you about that tomorrow. And it is 3 minutes after 7. I try my best to be on. Let me just see if we have any more. Nancy Bellamy. All right. I see you. You're on the other page. I just got a notification for that. I just can't comment. But, all right. So, as always, Kenny's got the rest of my tea, and do you remember what I say? Stay safe, stay healthy, and drink.
Oh, drink tea. Yes.
I can't even drink my tea.